All right, we are live. Getting my shit. Okay. Well, fun way to start things. That's what I get for literally getting soaked right now. Okay, so I totally am wet. Simply because I tried opening a fizzy water thing without. I thought it was fine. So if you guys were here in the very beginning, you probably saw, like, you can't see my pants right now. Why is there a poor connection? Like, I'm using the Wi-Fi. So, yeah. So I'm. Oh shit. Okay. Thankfully, it's not too bad. But my shorts here are like. Let me just wipe my fucking hands off. Okay, yeah, totally fucking DSPC. Take a look at this down here. Like, it. It looks like I jizzed myself or something. It's. I got some sparkling water tonight, and yeah, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Give me 1 second to quickly change, because I don't want to be sitting here in wet pants for the next hour and a half. So hold on a sec. Kind of wiping off the seat here. It's a little damp. Okay, let me get around this. All right. Yep. Trying to wipe off my table as well. At least it's water. At least that's the good part about it. Okay. Hold on. This is embarrassing. Or is it part of the show? I'm gonna go grab some paper towels as well. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, things are still a bit damp. Alright. Seriously, it's like that episode of South Park where the internet breaks and they catch Stan. Oh God, what's Stan's father's name? I can't remember. Randy doing that right now. Hold on 1 sec. All right, that's a fun way to start a stream. Let me just wipe this off because yeah, I thought I had let that sit for a while. Oh, this is going great. Oh yeah, this is going absolutely fucking fantastic. I'm half wet, and thank God I'm inside. I was gonna do this outside. Who's Matt Bennett? Are you talking? My character from In Search of, I think. So, all right, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna go real slow. So here's the thing too. I'm using a Samsung Galaxy S7. So if it's water resistant or proof. So okay, hold on. And we're okay. We're okay. We are okay. That's fun. So, how are you guys doing tonight? Unfortunately, situation. I'm in my office right now, my new office. We've been doubling this as a bedroom for the last like couple days, just until I get we had to get some other stuff with the bedroom taken care of, and we've moved in there. So yeah, Jeebus, this is the new place. This is the new place. It's just oh fucking spoiler alert, Spider-Man. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it's my new office right now. It's not that just yet. It will get there though. I'm gonna start putting it together tomorrow. Last night I made my final push from San Diego, and or not San Diego, from Portland, and yep, now I'm here, good old Washington. Yep. So yeah, kind of a housewarming stream. People have been asking me to like show what the house looks like. But we're not unpacked yet, so that will probably be a little bit of time. But this room is gonna be a lot like my old office. I'm gonna put the Star Wars stuff in the wall right here, shoot from this wall over here, and then get some more sound foam. It's a little echoey in here right now, but I also don't have a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'll get the posters up. So that when that happens, then it will look a lot better. And the thing is, I've got a whole bunch of old movie posters that aren't Star Wars, stuff from like 2011, I think, or I have a whole mess of movie posters. So I might just throw those up and hold off on the Star Wars art for a while, just because usually I have like the Star Wars work. I found out that they released the Harry Potter set in that same wood art collection, so now I'm on the hunt for those. But I do want to kind of mix it up a little bit, you know. Thank you, Dan Kenny. Yeah, we got in all good to go, all settled. I was gonna do this stream outside, but my neighbors, who I discovered today, like to go in their front yard and shoot guns. Yeah. I was taking a nap because I didn't get home until like 5 o'clock, and I didn't get a lot of sleep, so I was just laying down for a bit. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing gunshots, and I'm like, I've lived in San Diego, Los Angeles, Portland, Oregon, in heavily populated areas, and I've never heard gunshots. I'm in my first week in the woods, and gunshots, and now they're back there partying. So I'm fully expecting there to be gunshots later on tonight. Thankfully, the house is actually pretty insulated, so I don't hear a lot. Yeah, very true. Very good neighbors to discourage robbers. That's true. See, I wanted to be outside tonight so I could smoke on my vape pen, but that's not happening. That's okay. What kind of cigarettes do you smoke? I don't smoke anymore. I had my first cigarette in 10 years, half of a cigarette last night when I was hanging out at the Drunken Peasants meetup in Portland, which I kind of regret doing because I was all like, I don't like this, so why am I doing it? And then I'm like, yeah, it was peer pressure because I'm 35 and still give into that shit. I wouldn't be surprised if a meth lab explodes not too far from me. So, have I ever sniffed a paint can? Yes, I have. Be a rebel, smoke vape inside. No, I don't want to do that. I don't like smoking inside. I did before the stream take a couple hits outside, so I'm feeling pretty good. So, yes, Derek, I have seen The Nice Guys, and I really like that movie quite a bit. I'm actually a pretty big Shane Black fan. The DP meetup was pretty dope. I got down there last night, ran into Jeff Holiday in the parking structure, hung out with him a little bit, you know, hung out with TJ, Scotty, and Ben for a bit, and then hung out with a lot of the fans, and the fans were pretty fucking cool, actually. A lot of really good guys, had some great conversations. In fact, I was there from 8 p.m. until literally 3 o'clock in the morning. I did not leave Portland to drive the 2+ hours to get home until 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. I was exhausted. I was like, yeah, the DP fans are great guys. And actually, both TJ and Scotty asked me to come and be a guest in studio on the DP here, I think next week. We haven't locked down the date yet. And then TJ had asked if I'd be interested in maybe being a semi-regular guest coming in every so often. Of which case I'm totally down for. I'm a little over an hour outside of Seattle. That's not bad. And that's going to be a lot of fun to do because I like the guys quite a bit. They're a lot of fun in person to hang out. What are my cats' names? I have a male cat named Chance, an older female cat named Chloe, and the 3 rescues are all girls, and their names are Jelly, Digit, and Gus. So yeah, this is actually a Fernie pad. This is a furniture pad from U-Haul. I have no blinds on my window, so I don't want my neighbor is nosy as fuck too. The guy right next door, and so I don't want him watching me do things because I'm pretty sure the guy next door is a Trump supporter because he came over yesterday as we were getting some appliances delivered. And it was kind of being nosy and asked my girlfriend, if she lives here by herself in that kind of weird, creepy uncle sort of way. And she said, no, she's here with me. And then he's like, oh, what does your boyfriend do? And so she said, oh, my boyfriend is a YouTuber. He does news commentary. And then this is what she told me, I shit you not. The neighbor says, the neighbor says, he doesn't cover that fake news, does he? And I'm all like, he's a Trump supporter. He is a Trump supporter. And I have nothing against anyone who is a Trump supporter. But if the guy immediately responds to, oh, a person I know does news commentary by asking, do they cover fake news? You know precisely where that talking point is coming from. And I had to explain that to my girlfriend today when she told me, these things don't, that term is geared towards one thing at this point in time or one area. So yeah, it's definitely Trump. So that neighbor doing that, the people shooting guns out behind me. It's gonna be interesting out here. What's the hardest drug I've taken? I think I smoked some weed that was laced one time, so that happened. So hold on, I saw this thing here. If you're reporting fake news and you're a news commentator, is it still fake news that you're reporting on fake news, or is it real news that you're reporting on fake news? Okay, Buckshot. If you're reporting on fake news, it breaks down into 2 things. You're either reporting on fake news knowing that it's fake news and you're calling it out, which would then be real news calling out fake news, right? Or if you are a reporter that is reporting said fake news, then you would be reporting that fake news. I think that's about what sums it up here. So, hey, Kiernoth, awesome, man. Awesome. Go smoke weed, man. The funniest mishaps I've gotten into while drunk or high. Okay. This is a fun story. So, when I was 19 years old, I was a little bit on the lonely side, right? I was a little lonely, didn't have a girlfriend, nothing like that. Wanted some lady company shit. So one night I'm watching TV and I come across an advertisement for a company called Live Links. Now, Live Links is a 18 plus phone chatting service, right? All it's meant to be is you call in and you're like, hey, what's going on? My name is Matt. I am 19 years old. I'm currently single. I live out in Lakeside, California, and I'm just looking for a girl to just talk with tonight, to have yourself a good conversation and just kind of spend the night, shit like that, right? Never as smooth as that, by the way. It was just like, it would be like, yeah, so, my name is, yeah, my name is Matt. I'm 19. Yeah, I eat red meat. Yeah, you have to play that kind of shit. Anyway, so I'm hanging out what it was is Live Links offered free trials if you called from a number that was like a new number that had never called before. They would give you one time it was like four hours. Other times it was like 30 minutes and shit. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. I think this particular time was like an hour. It might have been 4. It might have been 2. It doesn't matter. The point is, I'm at my friend's house. Now it's me, my buddy Brian, my buddy Justin. And we're all out. We're all single. We're all dudes that are on the hunt for some cunt. Anyway, so I go and I call this thing up, and we start talking to a couple different girls and whatever. But one catches our eye, or well, catches our ear really, and it's these two girls in El Cajon, so just the next city over, that are all by themselves and they're lonesome and they're looking for dudes to come over, right? So I'm like, two chicks, three dudes, at least 6 holes. We got this covered. We can do this. So I talk to them and I get their address, right? And we drive over there. And so my buddy Justin, like, he's a Marine. This is also just post 9/11. No, this was pre 9/11. This was pre 9/11 by like a month, I think. A month or 2 months. It was a few months. It was pre 9/11. My bad. Anyway, still a Marine in a military town, which tends to get a lot of attention. And these girls were all for it, and they were just like, "Yeah, come on over." So we get there, and we send Justin up. While Brian and I have to go acquire alcohol. Now we're only 19 and 20 respectively, so it's very we can't get alcohol and shit. So what we do is we go to our friend Forrest's apartment, which was just the block over. Now Forrest was in the Navy and a complete alcoholic. So we went and took his beer, or well, his liquor and other drinks as well. Then we had to transport that back over to the apartment where the two chicks were. Okay, so here's the deal, right? So as we're trying to like hop over fences because we don't want to get caught with alcohol being 19 years old, we hop over this fence and all of a sudden there's a spotlight on us, and the spotlight is actually a fucking El Cajon cop. And so, it's one of those things where it's like the, what is it? The cop's like, "What are you guys doing over here?" And, so essentially, we are like, "Oh, we're just, going to a friend's, whatever." And then the cop just let us go and he didn't check the backpack. And so we get over there when we all, go inside and everything. And inside there were like 3, right? There was like 5 other dudes and the 2 chicks, and porn is playing on the television. Now we're up to 8 dudes, 2 chicks. By my count, you could still do all 6 holes and each one with a spare hand, right? So you've got you got that situation. So what it was is these girls had put the call out. The connection seems fine for me. Is it fucked up? Hold on. I'm on my Wi-Fi. Is it fucking up right now? Sorry, I don't want to kill the story, but like I saw some comments. All right, I give it a second. I guess it's working? Maybe? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, good. All right. So, essentially, yeah, we walk in there. There were the 2 chicks, now 8 guys, and porn. And I'm like, the numbers don't make any sense here. I can't fucking, this is not going to end well for anyone. But my friends were still wanting to drink and still wanting to maybe play Russian roulette for who gets to fuck these girls. Okay, poor connections coming in right now on my end. I do not understand why. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Nope. I'm on my internet, and my internet's still pulling pretty good, so I do not know what's going on. Hold on a second here. Okay, so it should be better now. I'm on the Wi-Fi again. I don't know what's going on. I get like 235 megabytes a second download, and I have a decent upload. Maybe if they're doing shit down the road, it might fuck it all up. Okay. Looks like we're at least getting back into it here. No? Okay, let me just... react to Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka movie trailer. Tim stuff, I don't have the ability to do that right now. Okay, so better now. It's good. Okay. I don't. This thing is doing this thing. All right. Comcast, Austin, unfortunately. So anyway, back to the story. So again, 2 chicks, 8 guys, 6 holes, 2 hands. That was my math. And anyway, so we're in there. My friends want to drink, right? So what you've got is my friends are very much trying to impress these girls. They think that these girls were just like courting many suitors for the night, and then going from there, right? Well, that's not the case, but they thought that was what's going to happen. So they start trying to play the game. Now the girls were apparently bisexual, and the girls were wanting, I think, to push to see how far they could take this particular evening. And so essentially, they suggested that anyone who goes down to the local sex shop, which is about 3-4 blocks away, goes and goes and we'll get a show essentially, right? They'll get a show. So Justin, being the Marine and the hyper horn dog that he is, he throws his hands up. He's like, I'm on it, right? And so he goes and takes fucking Brian's car and and is gonna go down to the porn shop. He had also been drinking quite a bit, so I'm like, I will go with you to to just help you get there. Now, what he didn't know is that I wanted to play my hand at this game as well. So basically, my intention at the time, and again, I was 19. I also didn't have the money to purchase a dildo myself for these girls, but Justin did. And so we go down to the sex shop. We walk in, 2 dudes, right? Again, 19, 20. Walk into a sex shop at 2 a.m. and buy a vibrator. And it was like $21 after tax, and Justin only had a 20 spot, so I threw down $5. And again, I'm looking to play the lottery because I was basically anticipating that Justin was going to drink himself into a drunken stupor and then black out, and then maybe I would be able to kind of work my way up the survivor ladder to possible sex. I was 19. Doesn't excuse the fact that it's a horrible fucking idea to go where we went with this. But the point is, we get down, so we go back, and the girls apparently take, Mr. Shadow, sex shops in San Diego are like open 24/7. It's not even kidding you. So anyway, we go back, we present our findings to the girls, and they're just like, well, we're gonna go in the back and we're gonna give it a test. So you guys wait here, right? We're like, wait. The promise was a show. The promise was a show. If we paid, we watch it, Girls go in the back for like 20 minutes and shit. So they go in the back. And then you just got 8 dudes sitting there, random porn on the fucking TV. But we had alcohol. And that tended to make everything better. So after like 20 minutes or so, the girls come back out. Were they hot? I don't fully remember if they were hot. They were like San Diego East County attractive, which is kind of like maybe like 2-3 steps above white trash, but that's about it. Or like the trailer park look sort of thing. So we're sitting there, we're drinking, we're all talking, and the girls come back out, and they're just like, wow, that was like amazing. And keep in mind, we're like, wait a minute, we still procured this for you. The deal was show. Yeah, of course, they weren't going to do it. And honestly, it's smart for them to play the game like this, right? So what you've got is then the drinking game started after that, and so the drinking game started, and we're all like getting drunk, and eventually though we get to this like truth or dare game. Now everyone at this point in time, like some of the military guys that were there, had fucked off already. They realized that the math game wasn't working for them, and they just didn't know what to do, so they left. And so there's like maybe like 4 dudes, some other guy, Brian, Justin, myself, 2 chicks. Again, we're kind of narrowing the field, right? And so basically one of the girls gets to Justin, who is so fucking hammered at this point that she says, I dare you to to put the dildo in your mouth for like 5 seconds. And he is so hammered. He's like, yeah, because the girl's like, we just use it so it still tastes like us, sort of thing. That's what they were they were trying to say. And so he goes and he goes, oh, in his mouth, right? And they take a fucking photo of that. So somehow that's still going on. But then Justin, keep in mind, is so hammered that he just blacks out, right? He just blacks the fuck out. And so now, like I said, I had played the game where Justin was going to drink himself into a stupor, and then it would up my chances. So now we're down to 3, right? And we're thinking like, all right, this could go well. This could go well and everything. And then it was like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning somewhere. It was late, and the girls had enough at that point, and so they were like, okay, well, we're gonna go to bed now. And basically teased all of us over there, and then I kept us going until they were sufficiently fucking hammered, and then they just went to bed, and then everyone just left. But the funny thing about it is that Justin was so fucked up, we had to carry him down the stairs, in which case we dropped him like twice, and he like slid down a few times. These are like cement steps and shit. And then we took him home, and he ended up like crawling on top of his parents' car and falling asleep on the on the hood of their car, thinking that it was his barracks. And then I went home, and it was again like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit later at this point. And I walk in the front door, and my mom and my stepdad were sitting at the table drinking coffee and reading the paper. And I walk in, and they were like, "Where have you been all night?" And I just said, I've been out drinking. And they're like, well, you're not 21. I'm all like, well, I've been out drinking. And I said, I'm going to go to fucking bed. So I ended up just going to bed, and my stepdad was kind of all pissy about it, apparently. And he's like, oh, you shouldn't be out there drinking. And my mom, this is what she told me after I had sobered up later on. She told me that her response back to my stepdad was just, well, you did tell him to go out and get a life, so what are you going to do? But yeah, that was an odd story where no one had sex. But there was the promise of sex. It just never happened, which sounds a lot like my dating life in general until 8 years ago. But no, it was definitely one of those situations where it's like the dumb things you do not only while you're drunk, but in the pursuit of sex. Another thing I did was still one I will remember until the end of time. So let me take you guys back. Let me take you guys back to August 1st, 1998, right? Or 1999. Yeah, it was 1999. August 1st, 1999. It was a warm day in Portland, Oregon, and my best friend Brian, different Brian from the previous story, was out. His parents were out of town. His family was out of town, and the only person that was going to be looking after Brian that weekend was his dear old grandmother, who went to bed early and was a heavy sleeper. So Brian and I decided that we wanted to go out and get, as the kids today say, crunk. And we were able to talk some guy into buying us a shitload of beer at the store. We then picked up our friend Jessie at her house, and then went to our old elementary school, a place we had hung out and spent so much time at over the years, because it was kind of a bridge between this main road and this back neighborhood, and there was an open swing set that no one ever gave a fuck about, and we could play on. So we've gone back there forever, for years, partied it out, smoked cigarettes all night long, swung on the swing sets, crawled through the fucking, like tunnels and shit. This is an elementary school where I broke this thumb in the first grade jumping off the playset, right? Back in the 80s, when no one sued over shit like that. But in this day and age, if you don't hit bubble wrap when you hit the ground, you're looking at a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. The point is, we decided to go to our old elementary school to hang out and just get fucking wasted. Well, we got to the school and noticed that there was something different about it. There was a fence erected around the school. A fence. We had never seen a fence before. This makes no sense to us. For all the years, at this point in time, 12, that we had been, around this school, we know it, at least as outside, inside and out, and there's never ever a problem. But unfortunately, there was a fence. But we found a hole in the fence, because we're teenagers and we're good at, finding little shit. So we get through the fence, we go over at this hangout at the play set, and we start drinking. We're having a good old time, talking, smoking, whatever, The three of us who've known each other for years, just chilling and shit. Then all of a sudden, there's a flashlight on us, and we're fucking. We don't run. We think we should run. We don't run. So we get caught, and it's a security guard because they were doing remodeling on the school, and so yeah, got busted. Got a minor in possession, curfew violation, and trespassing. But thankfully, because it was the 90s and it was my first offense, I only had to go to a 3-hour class about why you should not drink or smoke. And it cracked me up because the entire fucking thing was basically 3 hours of the lady retelling us all her old stories about when she used to get high. At no point talking about the dangers of these particular situations. It was more about so I was on cocaine and driving through downtown Portland. And when you're 17, you hear, man, you high on cocaine and you're driving? Sounds fucking amazing. So, no, Phil Farquhar, it wasn't honky privilege. I was 17 and it was my first offense. They just sent me to a class. So that, again, dumb shit you do with that. Yeah, JH Music, I'm on my phone right now. So I would have the other light on, but it's fucking horrible. So I'm just using this one light. So if it looks a little soft, that's why. Austin, I moved up between Portland and Seattle. So far it's nice. Today was my first full day here. We got the place a week ago, but I've been going back and forth every day. And so this is my first full day here, and I'm just tired as shit. So I was going to make videos today, I swear to God. I was going to do some videos, and ended up just kind of like half sleeping and chilling out. Did I ever poop in public? No, never pooped in public. So, what's going on, Rachel? How are you? You got detained by customs while trying to come back into the U.S. Shit, have not had that happen to me yet. Although, okay, so I don't smoke weed very often, as you guys saw that from the stream the other night. But one time when I was 17, I had kind of snuck out with my parents' car and drove over to my friend's house, who were hotboxing the room, and that was back in like '99 and shit. And I didn't smoke, but I was so secondhand high, or fucking whatever the fuck it's called. No, contact high, that I got in my car to drive, and I don't remember what happened next, but I basically kind of came to down a dirt road like 45 miles south, and I have no idea how the fuck I got there. Still to this day, I still have no fucking idea how I got down there. And I'm like, wow, that was, I guess, some good shit. So 1999 was a good year, Trike. I had a lot of fun before I left Oregon to go down to California. So it was good times. And then after that, I didn't really drink or smoke or not. Yeah, ever been so tired everything's been funny? Yeah, actually, okay. So I got a story here. This is kind of a long one, but it's a funny one, I think. Not funny in a ha-ha way, but funny in a sort of way. So Totaling Wolf, no, I have not been asked to be on the Joe Rogan podcast. So basically what you've got is I totally lost track of what I was going to start. Oh yeah, okay. So 2004, I spent the summer dating a stripper, which I do not recommend. One of the key reasons why I wanted to date her was, for one, she was hot. 2, she was Asian. 3, she's also from the Pacific Northwest and liked movies as much as me, like huge Simpson fan. I just kind of felt like, and I was also in a really bad place with some family shit at the time, so I didn't, it was a nice distraction. But anyway, she's also a meth head, but that's a story for another day. So she kept me awake one time for 3 days. 3 days she kept me awake. And it was just the most stupid shit, and I blame myself for it. But essentially what happened was I was middle of summer 2004, so I worked at the drive-in theater, so we're working until like 5 o'clock in the morning pretty much most nights. And so as a night owl, I usually sleep during the day and I'm up at night and whatever. But I was having my first bout of Achilles tendonitis, and so it was completely painful to walk. And what happened was is I had woke up my usual time around probably noon, and then went to work that night, then went over to okay, sorry, let me quickly back up here. When I was dating this girl whose name is Jen, she and my friend James became friends. James had recently moved into his mother's mobile home and took that over completely. And as a result of that, like, he also was into meth, and I didn't know that at the time. Jim, or James really, he also kind of liked her, and was trying to, like, I think, just be a general dick about it, and like hang out with her. But again, they were both into meth. And at the time I didn't know that, but now thinking about it makes a bit more sense. Anyway, so I'm at work, okay, and I have an appointment the next morning with a holistic person to, like, heal my ankle. I was trying anything at the time, and so that was in the morning. I was just gonna go home, go to bed after work. Well, I got a call from Jen, and she was at James's house. Just the two of them were at James's house, and I'm like, hold on a second here. Hold on a second. What are you doing at James's house? Right? And James, before, like, many years earlier, had stolen a girl from me. Ultimately, it worked out well. The story, and I can tell that story next if you guys want. But I was like, oh fuck, he's not, no, fuck that shit. Like, I like this girl. I'm gonna fucking, no, it's not happening again, sort of thing. And so, oh, god damn, the shirt is like soaked. Jesus, fuck me, Christ. Okay, anyway, so I'm like, God, it's so damp. So we go. I get off work and I drive over there, right? And then I know how to break into his mobile home. I know where all the keys were. So I sneak into the motorhome, or his mobile home, and I'm kind of expecting to find the worst. I'm kind of expecting to like find them in bed together fucking, because, like, it's just, I was 22 at the time, so I was just very much like, not happy with the situation. You get kind of thinking about it a bit more, and I end up I kind of sneak in, right, and I peek in his room, and straight up, they are in bed together. They are in bed together. But here's the thing, though. He's asleep under the covers. She's asleep, fully clothed on top of the covers. And I'm just like, son of a, I was pissed, but I kind of went over there, and, like, I was getting ready to, like, I was gonna deck him in the fucking face, and whatever. And so I go and I kind of nudge her and I wake her up. And she was like, "Oh, hey, we were just waiting for you to come over here." But I just fell asleep and shit. And so he had another bedroom, and so her and I went into the other bedroom, but she had just woken up, and so she kept me up until I had to go to the appointment. Now, the appointment was a story that I actually don't ever really want to bring up again, because it was just one of the most awkward experiences of my, fuck it. This is a holistic dude, okay? And he was, he had done some, like, weird, like, Thai, I don't know what it wasn't. He came recommended by some people that I knew, essentially. And I went there, and he was like, okay, we're going to do, like, hot tub therapy on your foot. And so we're both instruments did that and whatever. But then it got a little bit weird, because the guy was, like, making some he was trying to get, like, really personal information about me, like, stuff I wasn't really, like, wanting to give. And it's kind of, and whatever. So when the thing ended, like I said, I got uncomfortable, and so I was going to leave, and I was getting whatever, and I walk out there, and the guy's next appointment was there. Now, this is the weirdest thing. The dude looks at me, right? So you've got, like, this one younger, maybe mid-20 guy, some woman, and everything else, and they're sitting there, and they're on the couch, and then he's on his knees in front of the dude. And I'm just like, this is a little bit weird. And he goes like, hey, Matt, so this is this couple and whatever, and they're here to get training on how to give blowjobs. And I'm not even kidding you. And I'm just like, wait, what did I like? You came like, what did I walk the fuck into here? Like, yeah, I don't know why there's a poor connection. There should not be a poor connection. Um, I got full bars on my internet unless everything's fucked up. There we go. I should be back again. So, they're sitting there, they're sitting there, and they're on, yeah, they're doing the blowjob trading, right? And he looks at me and he goes like, "Do you want to sit in on this?" And I'm just like no, no, I don't want to sit in on this. And then he goes like, "Oh, okay, okay, are you sure?" And I'm all like, "Yeah." And he goes like, "No, but you should see this guy's dick. It's like a baby's arm holding an apple." And he kind of goes like this, and like I'm like, why do I want to see, like, whoa, what are we talking about here? Like, this just went from like kind of a weird thing in general to being a what the fuck moment, right? And I'm like, I am going to go. I also had to go, like, I was supposed to go to the ATM and pull out money to pay this guy. It was like $80 or whatever is what he charged. And I got in the car and I just left. I just left. I'm like, I'm no way. Like, that is some weird shit. Yeah, it is a strange land. And here's the thing though too is the guy never called me asking about his money when I never came back. He never called me wanting to set up another appointment or anything else like this, and I never heard from this person ever the fuck again. And I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Like, fucking cool. Like, I am okay with that. Um, but at the time, Jen was getting her wisdom teeth pulled out. That's why she was still staying awake. I don't know if she was getting her wisdom teeth pulled because they were fucked up or because she just smoked a lot of meth and they got fucked up. Again, these are questions I have 13 years later, but I think she might actually be dead. If I had to be perfectly honest, I'd probably say, or probably maybe back up here. She was from this area actually, and so basically, um, she so she ended up going and getting that done, and then I went over to her place and we hung out all day while she was just doped up and everything else on painkillers. And then I had to go to work again that night. And so keep in mind, like, I'm well over a day awake at this point. Sorry, oh no, it wasn't. It was like 2.5 days. It wasn't 3 days. Um, so basically, I went to work again that night, and I hung out with her again. And then again, we hung out all day and everything else, and she kept me awake again. And I think what it was too, this is a combination of like just situations where people would be awake together. I'm not going to go into full detail here, but there's those kind of situations. And so we stayed up all day again, and then I went to work again that night. And it was a short night, so I got off work, and she invited me over again. And I'm just I'm fucking gone at this point. My brain is gone because I'm pushing 2 days, and I'm living off of energy drinks and fucking cigarettes. And so I go back over to her place, and she's like, "Oh, I'm out of painkillers already. I have to go get some from my friend Mary's boyfriend." And Mary was another stripper who I actually knew through two other groups in San Diego. Again, San Diego, super fucking segregated and also very small. People know everybody there. So we end up going over to Mary's boyfriend's house in order to go get Jen these pills. I didn't realize, though, that Mary's boyfriend apparently was a hardcore drug dealer. And there was a complication maybe with some finances. I waited out in the car. Jen didn't want me going in, so I don't know quite what happened here. And then, we ended up taking off after that. I guess everything was fine. And then she wanted me to, like, get some sleep, so she gave me this, like, really strong sleeping pill. And it was at that point in time that I realized that I was parked, like, parking in this place was horrible. And I was also kind of like really wanting to just go home and go to sleep. And so I ended up waiting like an hour and saying fuck it, because I was just kind of whatever, getting in my car and leaving. And I don't really fully remember how I got into the car, But I remember driving home with all the windows down, chain smoking, trying to stay awake in order just to get back to my room, and then I passed out for like the next 15 hours. So that's that story. I guess in retrospect, it's really not as crazy. I lived in San Diego, man. So that's she was an interesting person. That was an interesting experience. It's not one I ever want to do again. No, the story's canon, or at least my story's canon. It's so. Was I fisted while I slept? No, I was not. What's the new bullshit lift rule? I don't know what that is. Um, feel free. I I've jacked it in San Diego, just not where that dude jacked it in San Diego. So yeah, I got to talk more about my life on Mundane Chats now that I'm living in the woods and shit. Um, sorry. Thank you. Why do I think she's dead? Okay, so Jen, as I found out, um, was later on she was, I think, sleeping with her clients. By clients, I mean dudes who would come to the strip club. Like, I honestly think years later, when I found this information out, I think I was meant to be one of those people, and we ended up just spending lots of time together. And I don't even know if she was in fact doing anything when her and I were together. Like, sleeping with people from work. I have no idea. I don't think so though, because we were pretty much together like all day, every day, sort of thing. And she didn't have a car and everything else. I think everything was fine. Like, And so the whole point is that when she got into meth pretty bad with my friend James, it also put her in touch with some other people who were also selling and not as nice. And she got really heavily into it, and like her whole life kind of went to shit. I saw her 2 years later. The last time I saw her, she came to the drive-in one night, and she was with this other guy, but she was dressed like a Walmart greeter, right? She was dressed like flannel, like not and he's dressed in like at least a $250 fucking tracksuit. You know what I mean? Like this dude had some money, and I think that this guy that they were there doing something. But she looked wrecked. She looked horrible. But the girl Mary that I mentioned earlier, like I said, I knew her from two separate groups. So basically, we ended up communicating not too long, I guess, or well, it was a few years ago. But I asked her if she had been in contact with Jen at all, and she told me that Jen got married to a guy in the military, to a guy in the Navy. They ended up what is it? They ended up getting divorced after she had continued to sleep with men from the strip club, and one of them raped her and gave her herpes. That's the story, and then that's why the husband broke up with her. And then she just gone. So I wouldn't be surprised if she is maybe not dead, but like not in a good place, So there's it's a fucking thing. It's a fucking thing. That's why I'm glad I'm not dating anymore. Um, yeah, I don't have the mic plugged in right now. I'm just on my phone, so I couldn't find my iPhone in order to hook in the actual microphone to it. Did all of this take place behind an Arby's? Is my name Ethan Ralph, Nick? It is not, and thank God for that. Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard. How tall am I? Tall. I'm 5'8" and I don't need to go stand in front of a fucking measuring tape. That's my favorite Ralph retort moment, because it's as much as a petty piece of shit he is, and he truly is a petty person. When Protein Pill got him to fucking literally stand in front of a measuring tape to measure that he was 5'7". They fucking got him, right? Right? Like, you have to love that. When one troll can troll another idiot into very much proving how tall he is by questioning it on Twitter. And Tony, thank you very much for watching, man. I really appreciate it. Regular videos should kick up tomorrow or Monday. So, Mr. Shadow asks, are there fat strippers? Yes. In San Diego, there are a lot of strip clubs because you have the Navy base and you have the and the Navy bases and the Marine base, right? So you've got a lot of strip clubs because a lot of seamen, they like to fucking spread their money around. So the point is that you get a lot of clubs there, and Deja Vu is the Hustler owned chain, and they are, oh god, they were everywhere. And I actually had connections at pretty much every single one. Like there was a time where I never needed to even pay to get into a strip club. Like I knew everybody. I went to strippers' birthday parties, completely unrelated to meeting the one that I dated, oddly enough. And so, but yes, Deja Vu or Midway's, or no, Deja Vu strip club's motto is thousands of beautiful women and three ugly ones. And the three ugly ones were kind of a staple at like every single club. So, like you'd go there and there would be like, because there are dudes that like big women, and you know what? Like, cool, man. Like, it's all good. But they would be on display as well. And one time I was there, and this was when I was 19, and I was there with my coworkers from the drive-in, and one of them was this woman named Annette. Annette was a big woman, mother of two. She just we were all going to the club, and she was like, "Hey, I'll come with you guys," and we're like, "Yeah, okay, cool, whatever." And Annette and I always like to joke around. And so when we got to the club, like we're sitting there and they were doing these dollar dances, right? Well, I held up my dollar and I'm just like, I want to get a dance. Well, the biggest woman in the club, I mean, I'm not like, she must have been solid 250, right? Solid 250, which is, again, her deal. And she kind of comes over to me, and she comes over and she's like, "You want to dance?" Because these were dollar dances, and I had my eye on a girl named Paige. Or no, Paige is her real name. Her stage name is Nadia. Yeah, I won't go into that story. But so I'm trying to get a hold of Nadia because I want to get the dance from her. And this other woman's there. She kind of comes over and she's like, "You want to dance? You want to dance?" And I'm just like, yeah, let me buy one here for my friend Annette. And I hand the woman the dollar, and the woman then climbs on Annette again, big woman, and they kind of mounted each other, and formed mega stripper for that moment in time. And then years later, I found out that Annette was so embarrassed by that situation that she went around everyone at work telling everybody that I got the dance from that person and not Annette. And that was kind of our back and forth for many years. Sadly, she passed away 2 years ago, so that didn't happen. That's not gonna happen anymore, which is sucky. But anyway, yeah, fat strippers. There are fat strippers there. It's the whole point I want to make. Whole point of that story. Were there any strippers named Bubbles? No, but they were. Not that I ever met one named Bubbles, but you get like, Cristal and Alizé and Tanqueray, and a whole bunch of liqueur sounds or fancy ass champagnes and shit. And they would be named more like that. You get Ecstasy and Chantel, and then you get some weird, like you would get like the normal names, like, you'd hear the DJ go like, "Ladies, all right, boys, put your hands together," and it, you're expecting like a Destiny or a Chastity, right, or a Penelope or something exotic sounding, and it would be like, "This is Amy," and it's like, okay, or "This is Bertha," you like something like that, and like, why would you do that, right? And so, so it's crazy. Jack Thank you, wow, very much, man. I'm looking forward to doing Three Book Theater. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's some stuff today I wanted to talk about, but I was just like fucked up and tired and shit. So that's definitely going to be starting tomorrow. Um, hold on. Nicole says, "Do you ever think about the fact that every man in the room has a hard on at the same time? LOL. I always thought it was kind of gay." That's not actually true. There are times where, like, depending on the situation, like erections don't work the way that I think a lot of women think erections work, right? There's clearly a mental investment that needs to happen when it comes to sexual arousal, but erections can just happen. Like, I could have a boner right now and I'm just talking into my fucking phone. Boners happen. It literally should be like the most popular bumper sticker in the fucking world because that's the truth of it. You just get erections sometimes for no fucking reason. It's just like you're walking along and all of a sudden your dick's like, "What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I'm here, I'm unwanted, but I'm not going to go away." You know? And then you're like, fine, let me find a fucking corner somewhere and take care of this, and you be on your way. But the point the point is, not everyone is going to have an erection at the same time at a strip club. And not everyone who even goes and gets a lap dance is going to have an erection. Most do. I was talking to some guys at the Drunken Peasants meetup last night, and Jeff Holiday was like wearing a shirt that said "I heart strippers," and he was like, "We need to go to the boom boom room," you know. And these guys are just like, how do you go to strip clubs? And I'm just like, I just I just said the best advice I can give anyone going to a strip club is is wear thin pants. And yes, Nick, Jeff was the one talking about the strip club last night, and then he still went to one. He still ended up going to one for like 10 minutes. He says so because he left before I did. I was like literally the last person to leave. So there's that. Let's see here. Have I seen Jim's Hugbot Chronicles yet? Not the new one. I know he posted a new one. Yeah, wearing track pants at the strip club. You wear thin material at the strip club, and then like whatever. Like you're gonna have the most fun, right? It's basically the best way to describe it. If I were to describe it in terms of condoms, it'd be like lambskin condoms. You're just like, oh yeah, it's just right there on the top. Not gonna protect you from shit, but but it's better than latex. So that's definitely something that goes on there quite a bit. And you've seen people that will like find ways. Wait, hold on. What's the? See you later, eyes. Have a good one, man. What part of the was I frozen? There was something there. Um, so well, if I'm ever in New Orleans, I might check that out. So there's that. Again, I do not know why I'm dropping into poor connection here. Hold on here. Let me see if I can. Ooh. Okay. Hey, all right. Don't worry. I'm still here. Still here. All right. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on. I literally get massive download and upload, so I don't know. Fuck. Um, talk about nightclubs. Tony, I never really went to nightclubs, but there was one that I went to in San Diego. I think it was called like the Margarita Room or something like that, or Margarita Rocks, maybe. It's a long time ago. Anyway, one of my best friends, guy named Mark, not the same Mark that was in my movie or in anything else I've shown you guys, but basically, he was him and his roommate Danielle like wanted to go out clubbing, and Danielle is really, really, really into black guys, right? She that's her preference. So she wanted to go to Margarita Rocks on reggae night, and so we all went down there on reggae night. I hate reggae, to be fucking perfectly honest with you guys, but I still want to go down because get out of the house and shit. So we go down there, and I you end up seeing like okay, so like when you watch okay, hold on, I'm gonna pause this again while I try to fix this. Okay, all right, okay, sorry, that should I don't know what's going on right now. Hold on. I don't know why I'm getting poor connection. I'm literally like 7 feet from the modem. So I'll be back now. Yeah. It crapped out. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But no, I'm still going back. But anyway, I go to I so reggae night, right? We're back on reggae night, and I'm on reggae night, and you ever watch those or you hear those remixes, right? Like remix rap songs. And so like you'll be hearing the beat and whatever, and then you hear some guy in the background go like, "This is the remix, 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 remix." You would hear that quite a bit. And so the thing is though, like I've never seen something like that live. And I'm at this club. It's reggae night. You have a DJ. He's mixing some tunes together, and then they literally have two microphones at the front of the club, and dudes are up there drunk as shit, and they're just going like, "This is the remix," like doing their whole thing and everything else. And it's just like that is my experience with nightclubs. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. The only other one I went to was when I was a teenager. Portland actually had a 16 to 21 or 16 and up club, right? Which is very odd that there was a 16 and up club allowed in the city that sold cigarettes and other things, And so it's like it was non-alcoholic, but we could go in there at like 9 p.m. is when the club opened, and you could go in there all night and dance and everything else and like smoke cigarettes. No one fucking cared. But the thing is that when you hit midnight, the TVs it would say like, curfew is now in effect. If you are under the age of 18, you need to leave, right? And of course, no one would leave, and they're not going to sit there and go around and like kick everybody out. So it was a club called Quest, and so that was a lot of fun. That was good times. When I moved back to Portland, I was just like, man, I really want to go back to this club. Like, I want to see if it's still there. I mean, granted, I'm way too old to go there now. Like, 35-year-old going into a nightclub that allowed in 16-year-olds, like clearly that is not going to end well for anyone involved. But the club wasn't there. And so just a few months ago, my girlfriend's mom was in town, and we did a haunted walking tour of Portland. And I come to find out that that place was on the stop. There was a drive-by shooting in the early 2000s that killed two people in the line to get in. And as a result, they ended up closing down the club and leaving. And so that's why it's no longer there, which is sad because it was a good time. It was awesome to go to the club, and be able to be under the age of 18, smoking whatever I wanted to smoke, and then dancing and partying. You can't do that shit anymore, man. The fucking 90s were the best. They were the best. What's my favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is Bulbasaur. I really like Bulbasaur or Squirtle, one of the two. I'm an oldie. Yeah, I mean, I was playing Pokemon back in the '90s, so that's kind of what we had back then. Can I fight you IRL? I don't know why you'd want me to fight you, Stigmata. There's really no point. There's no point. So, Snorlax greater than all. Snorlax is alright. It's alright. Go on pole with Rich and dance. Like this is an odd thing. I hope to one day engage in a drunken strip off at a club. You know what I mean? Like not fully nude, but like because usually there's like some person that would come up on stage and they'd be like, we need 2 volunteers, right? And you get one person and they're just like really reserved and everything, and then I would jump in there and be like really kind of reserved, and then I would just be like, pop on the fucking music and shit, and like, like that'd be kind of fun, just for shits and grins. So, Rich would eat Matt. Nah, I'm pretty good. Um, you're okay, Shiley. You're possibly becoming a teacher's assistant or adjunct professor. What do you teach America's youth? That critical thought is not dead. So I don't know. My connection's going crazy right now too. I'm connected through Wi-Fi, but I keep getting poor connection and shit, which is stupid. Do a beatbox. Yes, super chat me. That's right, Tara. You are correct. That's a good word to use. I can't really beatbox. You know, they'd be like. That's about it. It's got an echo in here, so it does have a little bit of a reverb effect, which is cool. Um, who was at the DP meetup besides Jeff Holiday? Um, there were a couple people who I met that I at this point I don't necessarily remember all their names, which is sad because they were really cool dudes. There was a Kyle and a Taylor and I think a Tyrell, which I watched that dude make out with TJ and then someone filmed it. I'm a Red Bull person over Monster. I'm drinking lemon flavored spring water. So, all right. So Lyft made a new rule. Hold the fuck on. All right. Let's see. Lyft made a new rule that requires drivers to drive dogs around, even if. Oh, right. I did. Yeah. I'm gonna. Tomorrow, I'm building all the assets for the Monday Match Show. When I get my computer and everything in here and ready to go, I'll be building everything up and then doing stuff. So let's see here. I did answer the super chat, the $50 one. So let me get super chat one. Turn the fucking camera down. Oh, what, you want to see if I have a boner? I think that's from when I mentioned I had a boner. Yeah, no, Jeff Holiday is, I guess, gonna try to make his way up to this area here sometime soon. So he wants to chill out and shit. So that's been pretty cool. And Matt doesn't wear pants. Of course I wear pants. I live in the Northwest. Okay, it's not summer yet. It's not shorts weather, but it's getting there. It is getting there. Are the roaches bad? There's no roaches. I've found some spiders and saw a couple eagles today. That's about it. What's my opinion on brand loyalty? If it's a good brand and you like the product, then there's nothing wrong with being loyal to it. But that's kind of how you worked out. So someone said they want me to do like a Valley Girl accent. Like, oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It's so big. That's stereotypical. You know, you also get a lot of the like, oh my God, like, I was totally at the mall. I was totally at Forever 21. Like, I was putting on a new Perth and like blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. For me, the Valley Girl thing comes from like the 90s, like Clueless, you know, where I had an unhealthy obsession with Alicia Silverstone. Still kind of do, but the point is that that's my take on it. I don't know if it's still there or not. It's so big. That's right. And sorry, Alicia Silverstone so fucking great. Let's see here. Have you noticed the increase in feminist activists with Valley Girl accents? I've noticed a little bit of some shit where it's like the kind of sorority girls getting into activism, which doesn't really seem like a lot of shit sorority girls do. Although I know I'm wrong on that one. Let's see. Do Oregonians have an accent? The answer is no. Yes, stigmata. That's so. I should let guests on my show. Yeah, I should definitely do that. Do I remember the fence that wasn't there and then it was? I remember the grill that was there the other day. That was so fucked up. I was so fucked up on Twitter, or so fucked up on the other night. Pop instead of soda for the win. Fuck you, Devin. It's soda, motherfucker. They say pop here too, but clearly it's soda. Okay, hold on. Someone said, Patrick. Okay, so here's the thing. This is, if you can tell, this is kind of a different room. I moved, and so when I was getting ready to move, I was packing everything up. So I had to pack up the camera, which is why there's been no face cam for that, or it's been me recording from my phone in my car and posting everything. That's what's going on. And so this is my new office. I haven't built anything up yet. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and then you'll be back to seeing the stuff with this mug. I mean, I went and got a fucking haircut, so clearly I want to show this because this is the money maker. This is what pays the bills. This is how I do it. All right. bring back Hi Matt. Let's see. I got it right here. I just don't want to smoke in my house. Would I invite Kyle Kalinske on and talk with him about movies? Absolutely. I like Kyle well enough. I watch his content. The politics thing I think is hit or miss, but he does a pretty good job. I just don't like the Justice Democrats in Cenk Uygur. If he was like, we're doing Justice Democrats, but Cenk isn't anywhere involved, I'd be on board. But the fact that later on, Jared, the fact that he's involved just bothers me. So I don't want to see whatever. Okay, it's not pronounced. Well, yeah, Oregon. It's more Oregon. No one says gone. Okay, because there's no fucking e at the end. So, so there's that. It's kind of like we have Willamette. The Willamette River goes through Portland, and if you play Dead Rising 1 or 3, they're in Willamette, right? They go, oh, we're in Willamette. Being from the Pacific Northwest, motherfucker, I know how Willamette is pronounced. I even told that to a developer of fucking Dead or Alive 4 at Comic-Con last year. I'm just like playing Dead or Alive 4, and I'm just like, you guys know it's pronounced Willamette, right? And they're like, what? I'm like, you keep fucking up how that word is done. Yeah, I went total, geek on the guy for that one. Paul Joseph Watson's the only InfoWars person you tolerate. I'm sorry if that's who you have to tolerate. Would I ever talk movies with Armored Skeptic? Yeah, I would. I have no problem talking with Greg. I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if it would be a long conversation. So what I if I could interview Chris Chan, I don't feel like my internet meme game is strong enough to do Chris Chan, but I would be curious to know her thoughts on things now. I don't know. Is she male or female? I literally have no idea at this point. So, when am I going to call out Shoe on Head for Islamophobia? I don't follow Shoe on Twitter, so I'm not subbed to her on YouTube anymore. I don't watch her content, so I don't know if she's Islamophobic or not. I don't think she's necessarily Islamophobic. She wasn't before. She I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see what you're talking about. Matt Charbo versus Rich Masucci or Masucci for fucking American Gladiators. That'd be fun. Nikes or Jordans? Pretty positive that Nike made Air Jordans. So neither, because Nike is a horrible fucking shoe. And I just moved. I literally lived up the street from Nike's worldwide headquarters. So fuck Nike. They're the reason my rent jumped up to $1,500 a month. So fuck them. Fuck them in the ass. Have I seen the proposed Pepe Trump billboard? No. Please tweet me a photo of this. I don't play games. I don't play a lot of other hack and slash games. I don't look at For Honor as a hack and slash game though. I have seen Shia LaBeouf live. That was good. Someone bought Chris Chan's Sonic Totem for $1,500 and it wasn't a troll. Wow. Yes. The video of the guy going to the UC Berkeley riots with Pepsi was. I watched it the other morning and I was like, this is one of the funniest fucking things ever. But what got me the most in that video was when he's like, man, I need a break. I'm going to go do my other content. He goes to a game store. Hey, look, this for $5. I thought that was perfect. It's like, let me just take a break from this reality that I purposely put myself in to go over and scope the price of used video games. I was like, that was brilliant. Veronica Hill says, I'm drifting off. Please tell me a bedtime story. Like, you want a story about my life, or you want, like, an actual, like, legitimate bedtime story? So, Coke or Pepsi? Clearly, Coke is greater than Pepsi. Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is prune juice. You drink Dr. Pepper if you're constipated, right? If you're having trouble crapping one out, you just go drink Dr. Pepper, and then you're gonna be pooping. So, thoughts on Blair? I don't have any problem with Blair. Mundane Matt versus a Rough Retort. I think he would. I think he would want to do that. I really do think he would want to do that. So let's see here. Good night, Moon. Hold on, I haven't seen Veronica say anything yet, so I'm waiting for her to respond. Then we'll go from there. No one votes for Pepsi because it's fucking horrible and shit. So, I'm gonna be in Seattle more frequently, so I would laugh my ass off if I met Onision or saw Onision. Am I anyone gonna go see the new Transformers movie? Yep, I'm gonna go see it. Canadian Fanto's trash. I haven't tried it yet. Thoughts on Surge? I've got 2 cans in my fridge right now. Or well, 2 cans here. My refrigerator I couldn't get my refrigerator. What's my favorite McDonald's choice? I don't know. I'm still waiting on Veronica. So if you've got, I'm looking. I haven't seen it yet though. Yeah, Mountain Dew Baja. You only say that, Devin, because you got it for free at work. Okay, craziest thing I think of. Okay, all right. Give me a second here. Craziest thing I can think of. That's the craziest story in my life. All right. Let me tell you guys a story about the time I essentially committed kidnapping, stole a van, transported a minor across state lines, and a litany of other things that probably could have been used against me had charges been filed. This goes back to October 2000. I was 18 years old, just out of high school, ready to, I don't know what the fuck yet I was going to do with my life. I had no job and no fucking money, and I was just kind of sitting at home playing the Nintendo 64. So ended up hanging out a lot with my friend Matt, right? Other friend named Matt. And his parents were loaded. I mean, like, they were really well off. They had a fucking working, they had basically a working ranch. And they were from Coronado, California, so they had lots of money. If anyone asks if I'm joking, nope, this is a legitimately true story. So one night, I'm kicking it at home, okay, and there's a knock on my window, and it's Matt, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? He goes, get in the car, we gotta go, and I'm all like, okay. So I'm like, I had nothing else going on. He's like, we're gonna go to Coronado, and I'd never been to Coronado before, and if you ever get the chance to go to San Diego, go to Coronado Island. It's beautiful as shit there. But I've never been, and he wanted to go over there. And I go out, and he's not in his truck, his Chevy S10, or his Chevy I don't know, his small Chevy, doesn't matter. But he was in his parents' minivan, and I'm just like, why do you got the minivan? And he goes like, oh, I took this tonight, and I'm like, why? And he goes, because I'm running away. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he told me like his dad and him like never really saw eye to eye. You know what I mean? Oh no, it's his stepdad. His stepdad and him never really saw eye to eye. And as a result, like his stepdad is pretty much a dick to him. Right. And so they got into a big fight. Apparently his stepdad like shoved him or something. And Matt decided to take off. Now keep in mind, Matt's house was so big that he was living in the little apartment adjacent to the garage, right? It was separated from the house completely. He could come and go as he pleased, and his parents would be literally none the fucking wiser. So he took his stepfather's minivan. And so we're driving to Coronado. I've never been. He clearly doesn't even know how to fucking get there at this point. So we get lost in downtown San Diego, and some bums give us directions and shit. We get over to Coronado. We meet up with a girl, Meredith. That's her name. That he was kind of seeing or whatever. And he's basically saying his goodbyes, right? And so we decide to hang around Coronado a little bit longer, and then take off back to Lakeside, which is where I lived. And he's telling me, he's like, dude, you got to come with me, right? You've got to come with me to Arizona. And I'm like, I'm not going to come with you to Arizona. Like, what am I going to do in Arizona? He's like, no, we're going to go to my grandmother's house. Like, yeah, well, but like, isn't this like not necessarily a good plan? And he was like, no, fuck it, dude. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. So, he's hell bent. He's going one way or the other. And he's clearly agitated. He's chain smoking like crazy. I keep having to go fucking buy him new packs of cigarettes and everything else. And so he drops me off at home and he takes off for a little bit, then comes back and says, hey, listen, I need you to come with me before I take off. I need to go get some shit out of my fucking house. So we then drive all the way over to his house, his parents' house, and he parks like two blocks away. So basically you've got us having to crawl through two other ranches, right? That to get over to his parents' house. Like, I'm wearing t-shirt, shorts, and flip flops, and I'm trying to crawl through a ranch and not step in fucking cow pies and cut myself climbing over barbed wire fences and shit, which is what we were doing, just to sneak over to his parents' fucking house. Instead of just walking up the fucking driveway like normal idiots at this late of night. And so we get over there and we load his duffel bags up and we, sneak out down the driveway. And this driveway is not like just a simple driveway. It's like a down the hill driveway. Like I said, these fuckers were loaded. And so we get his shit. We carry him down. He comes, he brings a car and shit. And then he's like, look, man, I'm going to head to Coronado for the morning. You can come with me if you want, whatever. But, I'm going to go out there and I'll see you later. So he drops me off at home and he takes off. I go to bed. I wake up, wake up in the morning and shit. I talk to my mom about what happened. I told her what happened. And I'm like, he's going to go to Coronado one way or the other. Like, I mean, there's nothing that's going to be done. Or he's going to go to Arizona one way or the other. And, I don't want him going out there by himself. So my mom does like literally the coolest thing I think any mom can do. She tells me, she's like, you need to go with him. And I'm like, but this is kind of dumb. And she's like, look, he's going to go, he could get hurt. He could, fall asleep while driving. He could do all these things. He's 17. He doesn't have, he's not all thinking straight. So you should go with him. And I'm like, yeah, but I have no money. I can't afford any of this. Right. And so she just basically hands me her debit card and says, don't spend too much money. Or try to keep it around like $150 or some shit like this. And so I'm like, all right, fine. So, I load up a bag and I throw it into the minivan when he comes over and we grab our boombox because he didn't have a CD player in the van. It had a fucking tape player. This stepdad, you know what I mean? Like, get with the times. You have a multi-million-dollar house and a minivan with a fucking tape player. Still, to this day, I don't get it. Everything else was brand new in that house. Minivan with a tape player. Anywho, we get in my car. We get in the minivan to take off. As we're getting ready to take off, the neighbor behind us starts trying to chase us down. Now, like a week earlier, my friends and I were out in my backyard shooting at cans with pellet guns and BB guns and shit. And we think some of the BBs or whatever shot up and hit the house and the neighbor's house. So we thought he was mad at us. So keep in mind, we're in a stolen car. We're going to be going to Arizona, and this guy is pissed at us for possibly, damaging his property. So we fucking hightail it out of there and shit. And then as we're driving, everyone's honking their horn at us. And I'm thinking, like, what did a fucking... This is before Amber Alerts. I'm thinking, did they call out? Did they do whatever? And yeah, I know that I'm getting poor connection right now. I have a feeling this room is like lead lined or some shit. But so anyway, we fucking go and drive down to the store to get something to drink, get some water and stuff. And when we get out of the car, I realize why the neighbor was running at me and why the cars were honking. It's because there was the boombox on top of the car. And somehow it had traveled a full mile without falling off. Which I do cater to the ability of Matt's very slow driving skills, at least that point in time. So we load up on supplies, we fill up on gas, and we fucking hit the goddamn road. Now, we're driving out this way, And we get to some gas station, a few, a ways away. No, ways away. We wanted to stop and just kind of top off, I guess. And so no, that's right. No, we didn't get gas before leaving town. This was filling up there. Anyway, so I'm waiting to buy a pack of cigarettes, a couple things to drink, and I'm waiting in line at the gas station. And all of a sudden, this Jeep like speeds up and stops outside, and this girl gets out of this Jeep. And at the time, I don't know what it was. She was just like perfection, beauty, and she was in like a green striped bikini top. She had like the wrap around her waist because she had the bikini bottom on. She must have just been coming from something or another. And it's like, that whole like, it was like that slow mo scene you see in a movie where it's like jaw hits floor, plays like the cheesy song and shit, and then the hero of the story, which would be me in this case, is just like, I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna fucking marry you, whatever. And so she like, but again, 18, overweight, scraggly goatee coming in. Just started growing my hair back because I was fucking bicking it for a short while. Don't ask. And so I didn't say nothing to her, right? And so anyway, we get in the car. We're driving, right? We end up heading off towards Mesa, Arizona, which is where his grandmother lived. And this is a little bit later, maybe like an hour or so later. It's nighttime. And we happen to be listening, to some music and chilling on the road. And all of a sudden, here comes the girl in the Jeep. And she's like right alongside the car, going alongside the car. Okay. Right. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is my chance. Like this is my movie moment. This is going to be me getting over there and being like, I love you, and like the whole whatever. Right. So what happens is she is blasting Dr. Dre's The Chronic 2001. Okay, which at that moment in time happened to be the very same CD that Matt and I were listening to in the boombox, which just again further solidified how fate that intervened for me. Cupid fired the arrow, and I was gonna make this, woman beat me and like me and all that shit, right? I'm driving the van. And I'm like, we have to catch up to her. So I gun it. This is like a 4-banger minivan or some shit. And I am weaving in and out of traffic while I'm trying to get Matt to like get her attention. So Matt's like, I know what to do. He grabs the boombox and he basically like hoists himself out of the passenger side window, holding the boombox in the air, thinking that somehow while we're doing 85 miles an hour through the freeways leading into Phoenix, that or in that area, Maricopa County, that she would hear about this, right? She would hear these things, and she would get the attention, and then whatever. It just sounded like, you couldn't hear shit. So we're driving, right? And we get to the point where it's like, you got to go straight towards Mesa, and like branches off to Tempe. And she was the, she had a Tempe or an ASU, spare tire cover on the back of the Jeep. So clearly she was going to college there. And she ventured off out of my life forever. But I'll never forget her. I will never forget her. Just because she was really hot. She's in her mid-30s now. She's probably married, kids, having a good life. Anyway, that's all I like to think she's having a good life. But anyway, the point is, we head off further to our destination. We get off to our destination. And as we get off to, we get over to the grandmother's house, and it's like, shit, around 10:30 at night or whatever. And the grandmother, hears us pull in, walks outside, and she just thrusts the phone in Matt's face and goes, call your mother. And he's like, how did she know? How did she find us? How does she know? And he's pissed off. And I'm sitting there going like, well, we're fucked. So Matt calls his mom. And he says, they get into their fight and whatever. He tells her why he left and everything else. And she tells him, you need to come home right fucking now. And he is like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, mother. I'm a free man now. right? And the mom's like, no, you're coming home right now. And she says, if not, we're going to call the car in as stolen and you're going to get arrested. Okay. This is where this is where I come into play. So we find out essentially how she knew we were at his grandmother's house. And what happened is his mother called my mother. And my mom was like, oh, they were here. I don't know where they went. Blah, 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 blah. She's playing it cool. And his mom goes, listen, your son kidnapped my son, stole our minivan, and has taken him to Arizona. And his mom is a fucking lawyer. And so she used that legal threat to basically strong arm my mom into giving up our location. And I give my mom credit for holding on as long as she possibly fucking could, but I understand why she did what she did, why she narked. She narked because, like, her son is being threatened with some seriously heavy fucking shit, right? And so she basically just, like, drops the dime on us and everything else because she had to. And I'm not mad at my mom about it. Neither is Matt. He wasn't mad at all. He gets it. And so we basically, his grandmother at this point, like, makes us sandwiches, gives us some snacks and some decent dinner, and then sends us on our way back to San Diego. And again, like a 6.5 hour drive. We went slow. And the whole time Matt's kind of freaking out and everything else. And he drops me off back at home, and then goes home and shit. He gets grounded for a few weeks. His mom tried to blame me a little bit for everything, even though I just went along. And then it was pretty much all is forgiven sort of thing. But it's one of those stories where, in essence, I didn't realize at the time, going with my friend to do this, that essentially I could be accused of these things. Now, no jury in the world would ever fucking convict me. No jury in the world I don't think would ever actually convict me. It's like, this is my friend who was running away. I went with him to keep him safe and shit. But because me being over the age of 18 and him being 17 is probably what did it. Plot twist, he's still grounded. Yeah, last I heard, he's actually living out in that area, and his job, and this is actually really interesting. His job is he goes to garage sales and flea markets within a 300-mile radius of Arizona to collect Legos. Right, he buys Legos and then he resells them online. He's been doing this for years, and last I heard, he's pulling in like at least $10,000 a month and doing that shit. And so, good for him. Good for him. He's still kind of a dumbass, but that's never gonna fucking change. So, the thing is, his mom, yeah. The thing with Matt and his mom and his stepdad is, Matt's father, I don't know if they divorced or if he died. I don't remember, but wasn't in the picture. So Matt had his older sister. And then the mom hooked up with the stepdad, both who are lawyers, hence why rich as fuck. And they had their younger daughter. And their younger daughter was like apple of their eye, couldn't do any wrong. This was, and I'm not even kidding you, at Matt's wedding in 2006, his sister, who was 16 at the time, showed up with a 23-year-old boyfriend. And no one cared at the time. No one fucking cared. But then again, if you looked at Melanie, you would not think she was 16. You would think she was like 19 or 20, like way beyond her years in terms of looks and everything else. And she was a little chunky girl when she was younger, and then she kind of just hit that blossom phase. And then Matt, it was nothing but jokes for Matt, so that was funny. So yeah, there's a lot of craziness that's come out of my San Diego stories. Would I fuck the green M&M? No, I wouldn't. Six, the actress who plays Six was actually at one of my friends' weddings, and he's nobody. So, that was cool. Adventures in San Diego, yeah. A lot of the stories are just going out to haunted places and strip clubs. Am I dating an SJW? No, I'm not dating an SJW. Yeah, Jenna Van Oy. Yeah, I saw the photos from the wedding too. She was there legitimately. Um, Nicole, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't think everyone's life is as boring as they make it seem. A lot of people look at like movies on TV, and they look at the way stories are told, and they think, man, my life is never that exciting. But our lives are always exciting in different and more fascinating ways. I have this belief, and I want to actually do this as a podcast one day, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. I would just need to pre-record it for a while, and then build up the content before doing whatever. But essentially, what I wanted to call it was tell me a story, and it would just be me interviewing people about that story because everyone has that one story that they can pull from, right? Their one, I scored 4 touchdowns in the championship game when I was in high school, and now I am a women's shoe salesman type story, right? Like everyone has that one. And I think those stories are always fun to hear because people always practice them and they rehearse them. And yes, it becomes more embellished and grandiose over time. Unless you're my stories, and my stories simply are factual from start to finish. But I think it'd be really cool to hear those stories, and I think that'd be a lot of fun, right? Okay, Elaine, you said you're old and tired, you love boring, but were you always old and tired? No, you were one time young and virile, and everything. So you probably got a story about that shit. One of those things. Hey Nicole. So she's saying here that her husband is afraid to tell me hello. Well, Marcus, nothing to be afraid of, homie. You and me, we tight, we good. And I am I an SJW? No, I'm not an SJW. Do I think Bill O'Reilly getting Bigfoot? What? Sorry, getting the boot. I don't know how I read that as Bigfoot. It was gonna happen. It was definitely gonna happen. There's too much with that on the line. But the thing is, though, it's going to fuck over Fox. People like his diehard viewers, the 4 million people a night that watch him, a lot are boycotting. Will they eventually come back and watch Tucker Carlson? Absolutely. But it will take a little bit of time. And these are older audiences that are loyal. These are people loyal to their brand and everything else. And so it's gonna fuck over Fox. Fox is in some world of shit. Bill getting 25 million. It's a 1 year payout. It's a 1 year. That's 1 year. He makes $25 million a year. So yeah. Hold on. No, puppers. I answered your question about docking. So no, you're welcome, Veronica. Yeah, tell him it's all good to go play Civ. Have I ever dropped acid? No, I've never dropped acid. So Alex Jones. Oh my god. The Alex Jones thing's cracking me up. Okay, so not only is the story surrounding Alex Jones being a performance artiste complete horseshit, his wife has totally fucked him over. Like totally fucked him over for to the tune of what, 3 million? If that's to be believed, and I saw what appeared to be court documents from a few days ago, like a settlement agreement in terms of the divorce. And basically, he has to pay out about $50,000 a month for the next 6 years in order to pay the $3 million to his wife. 50 fucking grand a month. Holy shit. I would just be like, I mean, I read that, I'm all like, man, I need to get married to some rich lady and then divorce her, and then get that kind of cash. Alex Jones go full MGTOW? It's entirely possible he might go full MGTOW. It's entirely fucking possible. That is we're gonna see this here because if everything else, it's gonna be crazy. Devin, hold on, you want me to tell that haunted house story? which haunted house story? You mean like when I was out in the woods? That story? Um, Super male vitality really does wonders. Exactly, exactly. So he's wait. Oh, Jones has got a net worth of 10 million. Um, I don't really know, Peter. I don't know. I don't. The media, look, they reported on it. But the whole thing though is it got divorce proceedings get messy, right? Divorce proceedings get messy. So I'm pretty sure that the wife was using what he said against him. And the thing is, words are used against us all the time, whether we want them to be or not. The lawyer came out with the defense of, well, no, it's only a performance art. You see, Mr. Jones here is just a humble water filter merchant and telling his opinions to people, and he's just a performance artist. Like, it's a real Mr. Smith Goes to Washington thing. Is what it feels like to me, and just really trying to play it up like that. Oh, wait, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It's not even the right reference. I have no idea what I was thinking there. But the whole point is that that was a defense, right? That was a defense because the wife was showcasing video clips of Alex Jones saying some of the crazy shit he says over the course of the years on Infowars as a way to get hype, as a way to like sell a product. And to her she thinks he believes it. I guess at one point they were in counseling and he like took off his clothes, like started stripping in clothes, and he only smokes once a year, the pure strain once a year to like test the strength of pot. Like that is some shit. It's yeah, well, Chelsea, I get that it is about how he says it. um and so hold on. Devin says here, the one you told me where you drove far as fuck to go to. I'm trying to think of which one you're talking about. Just post in the chat. You don't need to super chat that shit. um but I do think people giving him a hard time is entirely fine. Jones has done enough shit, where he's not above getting ribbed by the media. So, J.K. Turner's "Do I Smoke Weed?" Do I smoke silly weed? I don't know. So it's one of those things where it's like I don't think Jones believes what he says. I think Jones is selling you a product, and he's trying to use that right now as a way to save custody on his kids. I believe he loves his kids, and I don't necessarily. I think it's just a messy situation. But when this kind of shit comes to light on almost anybody else, he talks about this kind of crap too. So it is turnabout's fair play. So, uh, Gus, are you behind me right now? Is that what you're saying? You're outside? I don't see anything. All right. So, yeah, slender girl. Comic Exchange. Since I'm on my phone, that I can't check that right now. Um, the thing is though, Peter, you got to remember them going after him, losing his children is a low blow, but that's from his wife. That's not from the media. The judge isn't even gonna look at that shit. That's news that went out there. You know what I mean? Like it's your words do get used against you whether you want them to or not, and that is something we all have to deal with. Yeah, Dingo Man, this is my new office. It's been doubling as a room. Uh, so we're figuring things out. It should be back up. No, but I know Devin asked for the story. I can't like flip off it. Let me try to find it here. What am I like, Devin? You have to tell me. Oh, what's the house in the middle of nowhere? I don't think that's what you're thinking of. Um, I ever go to the one in the middle of nowhere? Went out to Salton Sea one day. Went out to There was 5-5. It wasn't really a haunted house. It's a haunted area. Um, oh yeah, thanks a lot, Bogsy man. Thanks a lot, man. Yo, yeah, no, Tony, the painting is here. It's in the other room. It's gonna be up in this room somewhere. Um, and let's see. Oh, thanks a lot, Jeeves. I really appreciate it, man. Uh, give a thumbs up if you're bothering to comment. No, I went from Comic Con, had the paranormal experience. Are you talking about the girl who called me having a fucking psychotic breakdown from Comic Con? Because I've never had a paranormal experience at Comic Con. I just had the crazy girl that I knew, who had a breakdown at Comic Con. Other way, they're gonna try fixing the Salton Sea. Um, yeah, Megamind colleges are fucked. That's definitely true. So, what is the most spiritual experience I've had? Spiritual experience. Okay, there's one. There's one. I can't explain it to this day. Can't explain it. Um, it's so. Hold on. I'm trying to. Yeah, you can't remember. I can't tell you a story, Devin, that you don't remember what you want me to tell you. Um, so basically, also someone said, would I ever hang out with Mr. Repsion? Hung out with Daniel twice last year, actually. Once at the DP meetup in Seattle, and then once again at PAX. So yeah, I've hung out with Daniel twice. I like Daniel quite a bit. So anyway, it was like December 2001. December 2000. Good night, Boyd. December 2001. I was coming home from my very first acting class final. We had the final that day. Then we all went out for dinner, and my buddy Brian and I think a different Brian that I mentioned earlier, and a different Brian from the other Brian I mentioned earlier too. I know lots of Brian's, common fucking name. Anyway, so my buddy and I were driving home in his 1978 Mustang Cobra 2. We're on the freeway. Keep in mind that this is like December, I want to say like December 19th. So traffic is heavy. The mall is right there, right? And everything. And then we're just driving along, and all of a sudden, the rear passenger side tire takes off. Oh no, sorry, it was the rear driver side tire disappears. It just falls off the car. So we're driving. We lose a tire. Full fucking 4 lanes of traffic. Right. We hit. We spin, and we're in the furthest lane to the right. So we're spinning, and this is what I remember. Like what I legitimately remember is all I braced myself on the hood on the roof of the car and like locked myself in like this, which clearly you're not supposed to do, but I was seatbelted in, but whatever. And I looked out, to the driver's side, and I see Brian, and all I see is sparks. That's it. I don't see anything else. No headlights, no nothing, just sparks. And we spun around twice, and then we came to a stop in the middle of the shoulder, right? In the middle of the shoulder, we came to a stop. I mean, like perfectly aligned. Hey, Bearing, didn't know you were here. What up, bro? Come to VidCon. We perfectly aligned in the center of this thing. And then we opened we're able to open the doors and get out, and perfectly fine. Car was fine. We were fine. Nothing to worry about. The tire was fucking gone. Keep in mind, we're on the furthest to the right, but it was the rear driver's side tire. It would have come off and gone away. It would have bounced away and shit. People would have either hit it, or they would have avoided it, or you would have heard something. And nothing slowed down, nothing stopped, nothing did anything different. No one even acknowledged that we had been in this incident. There was no one stopped. There was no nothing, right? And so we just sat there completely dumbfounded about how this came to be. And still to this day, if it comes up in conversation between us, we're like, I don't even fucking know how the hell it happened. And the thing is, we got the car towed, and then Brian, Matt from the previous story, and I went back out there about 3 o'clock in the morning to the freeway and tried to find the fucking tire. And we ran up and down the 8 freeway, like on foot, jumped over the barricade in the center, tried to find it. And there was nothing. There was just absolutely fucking nothing. It was just gone. And you figure, I've seen people get in accidents before. You see debris fly off. People go to avoid that and shit. And then nothing. And so to me, that was a spiritual experience because I didn't feel like I was in my body at the time. It felt like when I looked out and I saw the sea of sparks, like we had been transported to another realm. I don't fully believe that, but that's kind of my vision of it at this point in time. And so that's kind of the way, kind of the way I looked at that. But that's probably my most spiritual in that regard. I don't think I've ever like seen Jesus or seen anything like that. I'm not a religious person. I would say I'm more spiritual than religious, like agnostic over atheist, which is really funny because when I had the stream on Easter and I called it Happy Zombie Jesus Day, I lost like 150 subscribers from butthurt super Christians. Um, and so, hold on, I went to this abandoned place that was haunted, and you left and you felt something. Oh, okay, it wasn't a haunted house. All right, it wasn't a haunted house. It was something else. Hold on, let me get a drink of water here. Let me just I'm not spraying on myself. If you guys want to see something funny, go back to the front of the stream and you'll watch this explode all over me. Yeah, the money shot was first, right? That's for all the patrons out there. Got the money shot before anybody else. So okay. So this story that Devin wanted me to tell you. In San Diego, in Lakeside, there is the El Capitan Reservoir, right? It's a big reservoir, feeds the area in terms of water and shit, but at nighttime it becomes something entirely different. When the park rangers shut the gate to the reservoir, it becomes 5-5. 5-5 is the premier haunted destination of Lakeside, California, or East County, San Diego. It's very much a place where people go out there to drink, party, smoke, fuck, and hunt ghosts. And I've seen all things go down. So this is a place that the very first time I went to, I was driven to the gate, which is the end of the road essentially. It's the 5.5 mile marker. It's why they call it 5-5. And I was dropped there that was my hazing to the place. My friends went and parked a mile up and waited for me to walk. The bastards. But yes, serial killer paradise. And so just as a real quick thing, how many of you guys have seen my movie In Search Of? Have you guys watched that yet? Because where we shot the t-shirt scene about halfway through was at 5-5 in the exact location where this story takes place, just as an FYI. So basically, if I could get someone else in here, I totally bring Bearing on. I love Bearing. So where we shot that scene in Search Of is where this event happened. It's why I chose it. I wanted the spookiness factor of this place that had haunted me for years to be in my first feature film. A feature film that, this today. Yeah, we saw it. No, next week will be 7 years since we shot it. Anyway, so I'm out there with a couple other friends. I had Ian, Noah, and Evan, all three Coronadians that I knew through going to Coronado all the time. And I had showed them 5-5, and they became enamored with it. They loved it. It was a great place to just drive out and drink. Especially Noah. He was an alcoholic, and I believe still is to this day. And basically what happened was we go out there, and when you get to 5-5, you park at the gate, and you walk, about maybe 150 feet back up the road, and you can find a little pathway going down. And the pathway going down is, covers a creek, and there's like pallets out there, and you cross over the pallets, you walk through a little path, and then you're in this clearing, right? And the clearing, again, you can go on to my other YouTube channel called The Disciple 87, DECPILE 87, and then look on through the videos on there for The Legend of 5-5. We shot a documentary out there. I do believe it's the very first video on that channel, just as an FYI. And so we went out there, and I kind of retelled this story in that documentary at the time. So it's totally, that is made up for effect in that moment. But this actually happened. So Noah, Evan, Ian, and I are there, and it's like, late at night. They're drinking. I'm sober because I don't like to fucking drink and go out there at all. And we're sitting there just talking, doing whatever. And all of a sudden we hear this, this crunching noise to our left. And then Noah's like, all right, everyone, whoa, go silent. Oh, Noah, just so you know, if you guys were here a few weeks ago when I showed you the hillbilly hunting video, he was the goth kid we beat the shit out of. Just as, again, that's Noah. So if you want just him. So he's like, whoa, everyone, like, be quiet, right? Be quiet. And he's like, all right, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. So we all shut the fuck up. We're just waiting. And it's just like, no sound, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, on our right, we hear this crunching noise. And we're all like, what the fuck? Then, and I'm not making this up, I was sober as a fucking judge. The entire forest erupted around us. I mean, like, trees were shaking, all the animals were making noise. It lasted maybe a solid 10 seconds. It was fucking crazy that this happened. And and then it was just done. It was fucking done. It was silent. And we were sitting there going like, what the shit was that? Right? And then all of a sudden over here to our left again, we're hearing that. So at this point, we fucking shine on the flashlight, and it's just a skunk walking the other direction. To this day, I cannot explain what happened. And I'm a person who doesn't even believe in ghosts, right? Really believe in ghosts and everything else. But this event happened. And there were 4 of us there to see it. You know what I mean? It might have just been, I don't know, people, it might have been like something fighting in the trees above us and whatever else. And maybe that's what we heard. And then it stopped. It was one of those things where it's like, it's just crazy and shit. And I actually left right after that and left the 3 people out there drinking. But Noah continued to go out there after that moment. That moment was pivotal for him. He continued to go out there, and he continued to try to have experiences out there. He would go out there and drink an entire 5th of Jack Daniels and black out for like the idea of like lucid dreaming in his own mind. And he would come back and he would tell me like he was walking through the woods and he encountered a cabin, and in the cabin there was like a corpse, you know what I mean? And basically like he like, you know, he was like trying to like find the cabin again because he woke up having these weird dreams and shit. And everything. And this is, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, he believes this shit's crazy. But one night, this is later on, I'm out there with my best friend Mark and a girl I was going to college with named Kristen. And she had heard the stories of 5-5. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to take her out there and shit. So we drive out there. You know, keep in mind, it's 5.5 miles down a long, windy road, right? Long, windy road. Bearing left, God damn it, Patrick, you son of a bitch. I'm telling a story and you had to leave. That's so rude. I'm not gonna It's all good. So we drive out there, 3:00 in the fucking morning. No one else is out there. And we decide to we're just trying to walk around. We don't go down into the pit, into the clearing. But the 3 of us all of a sudden start hearing what sounds, and again, I shit you not, we start hearing a boy crying for his mom. We hear mama, you know, from the fucking forest, man, from the goddamn forest, and it wasn't just once. It was like 3 times, but it was like 3 different calls and shit, right? Like 3 different calls. Is this person, like this child making the sound? And we tried like using our lighters to like look out and see anything, and everything else, and it's just like, it's fucking crazy. We all got in our car and left and shit, and like that happened, you know. I've been out there before, and this is on video too. When we did the Legend of 5-5 documentary, we go out there and you've got the gate that's closed, and on the other side of the gate leading into the reservoir is a water main, and someone busted the water main open, and we got there and it was gushing, you know, hundreds of gallons of water a minute and shit. In California, that's as precious as fucking oil. So that was kind of interesting. We still don't know how that happened without the gate being broken apart. Upon reflection, though, I would probably think that maybe somebody like wrapped a fucking cable around it and then used a truck and just broke it open and then grabbed it, you know, and then took off afterward and shit. But I mean, I didn't see any extra water that you would have found from like it's soaking the cable. Anything else? I didn't find anything else with that. Who knows? Who knows? So you know, spooky shit happens. I'm white. I must investigate. Sure. I guess. Thank you very much, Orbital. Have yourself a great night, man. And so it wasn't defective. You can't go and look. No, go and Google Disciple 87 DECPILE 87, and then look up the Legend of 55 and tell me if that shit just fell apart. So, Tony, I'm only going to be on for maybe like another 20-30 minutes. And so, because I'm pretty fucking wrecked, and but I'm having fun, so it's just fun to talk about shit. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to hear any more stories, fucking ask some questions. I'll tell you guys some stories. As scarce as fake news. No, it's not. Yeah, again, poor connection. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I have to figure it out. If I could live anywhere, where would I live and why? Probably I would live in. Where would I live? I don't know. You know what? Like, I do love Los Angeles, but it's like too many people. I'd probably want to live in like, maybe like, actually kind of where I'm at right now, because I've been enjoying where I live. I've been enjoying it. There's deer that will walk through my property. The gunshots from earlier, that was a little bit, whatever. Also, the party that was at that place now is breaking up, so I've been hearing the cars leave, and everything else. Retarded Batman, I'm sorry, listen to the whole stream. I'm sorry. Yeah, Slender Deer, exactly. Where do you find my movie? It's iso-themovie.com. And you can find it there. What is my favorite movie? That'd be Raiders of the Lost Ark. Hillbilly Hunting, Jimmy and Earl versus Bigfoot. I'll float it by Mark. I'll see what's going on. Tara, of course I love you. How could I not love you? You're like one of my closest friends. Have I ever found Waldo? Yes. In fact, I dressed as Waldo for Halloween last year. I just didn't take any photos of it because the shirt was too tiny on me, and it really just made my breasts look huge. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Good movie, but the marketing gave way too much away. It just gave way too much away. So that's a problem with that movie. No bearing. I haven't seen Steve Shive's movie yet. We need to get a stream with you, me, Jeff Holiday, a few other people, and just rabbit that fucking thing. I'm definitely wanting to see it. I am so wanting to see it. That clip we saw was horrible enough. God damn it, I gotta fucking see it. It was was it Wizard of Oz that found it, or Bearing? I forget. So can you see my? No, you cannot see my breasts. Yeah, Steve Shives has a fucking movie. So pineapple on pizza is good. No, it's not. Pineapple on pizza is an abomination unto God. What's the most terrified I've been? This is a weird one. Real quick, Max Sand asked, when is the open stream? Let me get my my system set up here, and we'll do it sometime this week. Okay, we'll do it sometime this week. But my most terrified I've ever been. It's not in the way you might think. I mean, I've literally woken up to a gun pointed at my head, and I was not afraid, right? And this is also my friend Matt, who I mentioned earlier, and then our other friend David, who was in the military, who for some reason thought it'd be funny to come in my room at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning and point a gun at my head and wake me up. But it didn't fucking freak me out at all. So there's that. Actually, it was funny too, because the 5-5 documentary we were shooting, we actually shot the majority of it that night after I woke up with the gun in my head. Nicole, no, the gun wasn't loaded. Because as soon as I saw it, I took the gun, I fucking, cleared the chamber and everything. He would never actually do that. If he did that, we would not be friends. And I would call his CO, and everything else and be like, no, you don't do that kind of shit. But no, I trust this guy with my fucking life. He's a great dude. That was a prank that I'm not a fan of, and they've never done anything like that ever again. But again, it was like one of those weird things where it's like, oh, like I don't care. Still to this day, I don't care. Because I literally just like I woke up, I looked up like this, and it was like right here. Like it wasn't like on my head or nothing, but I could see it, and I just said, "Give me that," and I just like popped out the clip, pulled it back. It was fine. Yeah, it was just a prank, bro. This is before YouTube was really a thing. So yeah, that wouldn't be around. But the most terrified. So when I got fired from the theater job in Los Angeles, that was the first time I'd ever been fired from a job, even though I technically quit. Well, no, technically I know I was fired. I was going to quit that same day, and I ended up filing for unemployment. And the owners of the company came back and they tried basically saying, like, Matt heard everything. He was like destructive, all this, like willful and wrongful, wasteful waste of company property or some kind of shit like that. Really, really dumb stuff, not relating to why I was terminated at all. They just wanted to fight me on on unemployment, and so I had to go and appeal it, and that required going to court. And I've never gone to court before. I've never gotten unemployment before, and I was just like, I was really, really, really scared, like super fucking scared, and so I was so anxious, consistently anxious. Like I honestly wish I would have had this when I was, dealing with that shit. And I should have probably smoked pot. It would have fucking made me feel a lot better about it. And so essentially, I was so terrified every day of getting the mail. I was so terrified every day of not getting unemployment. It was only 114 or 100 no $141 a week at the time, which is not enough to live in Los Angeles, but it was definitely like it was helping me get by. And so I was so worried that was going to be going away. And it just I couldn't eat. I was just having trouble, and everything else in the time. So, but that was so funny. It was all for naught. It was all for naught, right? Essentially, what happened was, I went to the hearing, right, that we had, and I went prepared. I went prepared as shit because I brought in. Well, I should quickly preface this by saying someone asked why I was fired. I was fired because my boss, in my opinion, was stealing. I caught him, and I was terminated. I shouldn't say I caught him. I caught on to what was happening, and I think he fired me to cover up his mistakes. To be honest with you, and a lot of that had to do with inventory. He was flat out taking money. Right, because like anyone here who's ever worked retail, you know that when you go and you take out the cash to your register or anything else like this, or been a cashier, like you have a preset box that comes from the safe that's prepared by a manager. You know how the process goes. This dude would sit there and pull out $300 of his own money, hand it to me, and then want me to give him the amount of money that would go into a box office in order to whatever, he would build the box with his own money. So I didn't have any proof of this. I mean, none I could prove. I just had fucking, like I just had my own self having seen it. And I was trying to gather proof, but at the same time, I'd put in for a transfer because I wanted the fuck out of that theater because I had a feeling I was the one. I was going to be targeted. Because at this point in time, as I was kind of catching on to these things, I started getting written up for shit. Right, like magically the safe wasn't locked one night, which doesn't make any sense to me. Because when you do a job like that, you go through a routine. Everything is routine. You thread up your movies a certain way. And you always do it the same way. You do your paperwork the same way. You count your money the same way. You do everything the same way. Routine is how you handle the monotony of the paperwork. And the same thing goes for when you put the money away. You rebuild your box the certain way. You rebuild other things a certain way. And you put it together, you put it in, you shut it, and you fucking turn it. So them telling me that I was suspended for a week at first because they said that I did not lock the safe at night. I had no way of combating that. I just lost a week of work. And then the managers, the projectionist that we had, who was really tight with the manager, started coming at me hardcore, right? And then when I fought back, like we got into an argument, and I sent him home. And then, but I'd also cursed at him. He cursed at me. I cursed at him back. And then I sent him home, and then I got written up again because I had sworn at him. You know, I swore at him and shit. Never mind the fact that he instigated everything and whatever. It doesn't matter. I was a person in charge. I should have handled it better, but there was a lot of build up to everything else. You know what I mean? Like everyone used the computer for personal use. I got written up for using it for personal use. Just check my email and shit, right? Like literally, there was like that kind of shit was going on. So I felt like I was being targeted. And look, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Gus. I didn't want to be there anyway, so I might have been fucking off. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to quit. I felt it was getting bad, and I had put in for a transfer request to another theater that was closer to my apartment. And when that was denied, I pretty much figured I was fucking done. And so I went in to quit. And I had my letter in my hand. I had it in my hand. I was gonna walk in and ask to hand in my resignation, which probably would have not given me unemployment, but whatever. But it turns out I got fired at the same time. So anyway, back to the whole point. And so I'm nervous. I'm terrified of losing this little bit of money to pay my bills. And so I go into preparation mode for this hearing. So I go and I talk to a couple ex-employees and get them to sign witness statements about how how fucked up our inventory system was, and the fact that the manager had to change it constantly, always had to change the Excel formulas and everything else. And I'd always have to ask him for help almost every single night because the inventory was so fucked up. And that was one of the things I was fired for. That was on my termination paperwork, was a screw up on the nightly paperwork that was already so fucked we didn't even know how much we had of one thing at any given time because the inventory was so horrible. So anyway, I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting to go in, and I'm looking over my evidence, or the witness statements, as well as my cell phone records for the last 6 months, matched up to my work schedules for the last 6 months, and the nights that I closed, showing when I called my manager because of the problems that we were always having. And that was also a witness statement that I had. So I thought I had it pretty well locked down. But I'm like, I didn't know who I'm going up against. I don't know if if the owner of the company's going to come down. I don't know if my manager's going to show up. I was nervous because I didn't want to because this dude's a smooth talker. Right now, he's a fucking greeter at Disneyland, I found out. So it's like, good, don't let him touch money. Because I'm pretty sure he's probably thieving. So it turns out they send in an HR guy. And I won't tell you his name, but he has one of the weirdest fucking names I've ever heard, right? I will say this: his first name is Tab, Tab. His last name is even fucking weirder. But it's also, it feels like a mixture of a few 1980 celebrities, like David Hasselhoff and Henry Winkler. His last name is a culmination of some of those two elements. But the point is, this guy showed up, right? And I gave him the information. I gave him a copy of my findings because I guess I had to. And we go in front of the judge, and I present my case, and the judge, then takes the information down, or the whatever, and essentially the guy there, the tab, he didn't know anything about the case, because my manager was supposed to be there to fight, to be the one to argue it, and he didn't show up, and so I did win, but that was the most terrified I was, because I was like, that the anxiety at that moment in time. So here's the fun thing. here's the fun thing. I found out a month and a half later that my manager had been fired for altering the nightly inventory reports in order to give himself a bigger bonus every single month. So he got fired because he was altering the paperwork. The paperwork I was asking him to help me fix because it was so fucked up that this is like the what had happened. I think it got away from him. But I did hear from another manager who was under the same district manager that the witness statements that Tab brought back to the owners prompted them to launch an investigation into it and eventually got him fired. So I feel utterly fucking vindicated about that at the time, simply because this is a guy who is very nice to your face, but he will fucking backstab you. And all I fucking wanted was just to be transferred to another theater so I could continue making $9 an hour. $9 an hour is what they paid me to fucking be an assistant manager of that theater. You cannot live on $9 an hour anywhere, especially LA, but that's what they fucking paid me. And we also had like 4 assistant managers, so no one ever got full time and shit. So it's retarded. Hey, what's going on, Bastardized? Senpai notices you. So you've got no, Brianna Wu is not. I don't think Brianna Wu is a registered sex offender. Pretty positive. Thanks to feminism, we now have Le Pen. Yeah. Well, thanks to the far left, you now have Le Pen. And honestly, after the fucking after the whatever it's called, the shooting the other day, that's going to factor into what happened. The fact that police officers died at the hands of it was a French national, but people are going to view him as being as an Islamist. So that's going to be a sad thing. Well, keep in mind, this is 2011, and the back to the how much money I was being paid. It was 2011, and it was minimum wage was $8 and everything else. So that's just kind of what happened with that. Unfortunately, it's not any better now. Actually, when I left LA, went back to San Diego, went back to working at the drive-in, they paid me $9 an hour at the time, and so I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, these things are just kind of like, these are easy jobs, essentially. They're easy jobs, but you want, okay, battery power is getting close to dying. I totally agree, Nicole. I actually had to threaten to quit my job in order to kind of this is kind of funny. So in 2007 at the drive-in, I was managing it for a couple of years, and I was just kind of done with it. I'm like, I want to get out of this job. So I told my boss at the end of the summer I was going to be quitting. I didn't want to leave him shorthanded and everything else. And my boss was like, sorry, there's noises outside. I hear people yelling or something like that. It's probably the drunkies. I don't know what I'm hearing. That's weird. Not the grill. I'm not high. It's not the grill. But it's kind of an odd feeling. Okay, I hear some girl just talking and shit. All right, hold on. Let me just. Okay, so yeah, I forgot what I was talking. Oh, anyway, so no, I told my boss I wanted to quit, and so we started looking for a replacement assistant manager at the drive-in, and we ended up getting this guy whose name was Bob. Bob happened to be retired Air Force and retired Navy, seeing as the manager of the theater was 23 years retired Navy. They very much had that in common, right? And so, we brought on Bob. And Bob had a nickname. Bob's name was Pirate Bob. He was a piratologist. As we found out, he very much loved the piratology books that Walmart sold. But no, he would come into work every day wearing a pirate shirt, pirate belt buckle. He was, he was out there. But Bob was not right for the job. And I trained him for 3 months. For 3 months to do this job. A job I learned how to do in a week because it was not hard to do. It was monotonous and repetitive as fuck, but not hard to do. And so at the end of summer, I basically said I told the owner, hey, listen, tell you what, if you want me to stick around, I will stick around, but I want a raise. And he was like, done. Not even a question. Not even a question. And so they gave me a raise, and then I was told that I would be given the opportunity to fire Bob, fire Pirate Bob, and I was looking forward to that. Mostly because at the end of the summer, Bob was like, it wasn't working out, and 3 months to train someone to do this job, like it wasn't working out, and so I got ready and I went down to work, and I'm all like, I get a fire Bob, because Bob was running his mouth about me behind my back for like months and shit, and saying that I didn't do my job, even though I was training him to do my job. So I was looking forward to this one, and I get down there, and my boss is there. I'm like, fuck, what's he doing there? Yeah, I show up. I get there, and he's already fired Bob, and I'm just like, God damn it, God damn it. I had one job. You took it away from me tonight. Like, you took it away. You took away my ability to fucking fire somebody, right? And that's the little thing is my boss. I think he liked doing it. So very much one of those moments where he was, exercising. I almost wanted to call it prima nocta rights. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how it felt to me at the time. But no, I thought it was great. Hold on, but what? Hold on, El Chuba blah blah. Those children still can eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches without seeing flashes of your face, you monster. I don't even know. How's that grill treating me? That grill is back down there. That grill is 115 miles away right now. What cracked me up about that grill though is the next night after that stream, I was walking the trash out and I walked past that picnic table and I looked at that grill and I'm just like eyeballing that grill. I'm just eyeballing that thing like, you're gonna come at me, motherfucker. I know you're gonna come at me. I got fired for feeding children peanut butter by hand. No. IF Gaming, I don't want to fire you. I wouldn't make you feel any better. This was also 10 years ago. This is definitely 10 years ago. So clearly, I don't care. I don't care so much anymore. The girl was seducing me. Yeah, it's definitely still back in Portland. Hold on, what's this thing here? Okay, you're taking a food preparation safety thing, and I need help. You can always tell if someone has impaired immune system. No, you cannot always tell if someone has an impaired immune system. So, okay, you're self-employed. I have gaming, cool. Let's see, Crystarium Network. As a small YouTuber, how the fuck do you meet other YouTubers and establish connection when you don't even know each other? Twitter, Facebook, that is like, start commenting on their videos, but comment good comments that would be upvoted and then brought to the top. And they'll tend to see that, and then they might recognize you if you contact them via social media. It's kind of like, I like never spoken to Jacqueline Glenn, but as soon as I followed her on Twitter, I had to follow back in like 5 minutes and shit. So it's like you just get to know one another through either name, videos, or reputation, and then you just kind of start chit-chatting. It's like, last night at the DP meetup in Portland, TJ and Scotty both asked me to come and be on the show. And so it's like, I'm going up there next week in studio to be on the show. And then TJ had suggested it become more of a regular thing, like every couple, like once a month or something. So that's cool. Like, that's how you do it. It requires you to go to these events, talk with people, meet with people, make good content, engage in social media, and then basically be part of the community. That is, people out there who don't want to call it a community, whatever, but it's just, it is. Yeah, Tara, that's how we became friends. It was actually through Gamergate. We started talking on Twitter and then moved over to Skype. And then Tara and I would sit there and BS on Skype for hours at a time. I would just be on my phone walking in front of my place, and we'd be talking movies and Hollywood and the industry all night long. And we still talk pretty much every day. And it's been almost 3 years. Oh, no, 2.5 years. Well, no, over 2.5 years now. So, yeah, so that's how you do it, man. Like, you just gotta go talk to people and shit. So, let's see here. Did Bob like Captain Sparrow? Yes. Yes. Pirate Bob. Ooh. Ooh. You guys want to hear Pirate Bob? Yeah. Okay. I interviewed that motherfucker. I interviewed him. Here's what I want you guys to do. I don't have the ability to write anything down right now, but go to youtube.com/KZOMradio.com. KZOM Radio, or not .com, but just youtube.com/KZOM Radio. Okay, and that's my podcast channel. You will find the couple shows I did on there. Now, one of the shows is called Forbidden Knowledge, which, if you're wondering where that name came from for the other channel, it originated through a conversation I had with Pirate Bob back in the day. And so you can find Forbidden Knowledge on KZOM Radio, and as a result, you can listen to Pirate Bob. I think I talked to him about like UFOs, Area 51, and a few other things. And I interviewed him at the drive-in theater one night. If you type, I don't know if you guys can share the link or not. I can't, but yeah, it's on KZOM, KZOM Radio. And then if you guys like zombies, check out The Survivalist. There's 50 episodes of that right now where I talk to people about how they would survive the zombie apocalypse. And that's something I would like to bring back because that's pretty popular. I got a lot of downloads per episode on that one. Tony, what is $3 Theater? $3 Theater is my movie news channel, but that is now going to be migrated into the primary channel in order to, for one, do what I've wanted to do, which is just mostly talk movies, and two, movie coverage is not getting as hit by the whole YouTube ad boycott thing. And then for controversial content, I'm going to be building more of a news program through the MundaneChats show. Again, still trying to figure out how that whole thing's going to go down. The Comic Exchange, that would be it right there. So, if I could review any porn star, who would I interview? I would really like to talk to, if it was just like it depends. Like, if it's a porn star that, I've clearly spent some time firing off knuckle children to, then it would probably be someone like Lexi Bell. If it was a porn star who was very integral to the business development and was big around the time, that helped kind of spring it forward, I would want to talk to either Nina Hartley, who I believe is still active to this day, as well as Asia Carrera, who is very smart and is a member of Mensa, and recently was in the news because she had she's a Pastafarian in Utah, and she got her driver's license image with the strainer on her head. So yeah, like that's what I like to meet. A porn star that was integral to my own development. 1 year at Comic-Con, I met 3 of the actresses that would be used in that particular form of development for the first time. That was interesting. I just kind of looked at my friend and I'm all like, I just met 3 of the 4 women I initially masturbated to. And he's like, did you tell them that? I'm like, no, of course not. And he's like, it's probably for the best. Yeah, probably for the best. So, man, yeah, like Ron Jeremy, I like to meet. Yeah, Cypher, that Antifa girl. I was reading the Snopes article on her. I saw it brought up on Kotaku in Action, and they were talking about that as being like, they're saying she didn't do nothing. And I'm like, they didn't say that at all. They were just saying one of the claims surrounding her. There's no evidence to support it. But then again, that ties into the larger narrative of if this claim is not factual, then it probably means other claims about her aren't factual. Do I have plans to attend BlizzCon? No. However, when is BlizzCon? Because one of my oldest friends works at Blizzard, so I probably could get tickets in. Um, and so Antifa did nothing wrong. So I might be able to go to. If I want to go to BlizzCon, I probably could maybe try to get hooked up through him. Although I don't know if that would be if November 3rd and 4th. Maybe I will see him at Comic Con. I'll ask him. But if I could be if I had a porn star name, what would it be? I don't know. Wait, that Antifa girl did porn? I missed that on the chat. Someone link me for science. Who do I want to meet at VidCon? I would like to meet Boogie2988. I've known him for a couple of years now, and then I'd also really like to meet Philip DeFranco, and just have a conversation with him. I'd love to meet a number of people. Like I get to meet Chris Raygun. I've talked to Chris numerous times. I get to meet Chris. I can't wait for that. Blair White's going to be there. I heard Chewan Head, Armor Skeptic are going to be there. I would gladly meet them. Just to see kind of how their personalities play off and everything. And yeah, I don't know who else is going to be there. I think a number of people are going to show up, so I don't know. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be good networking, could be good opportunity, and it's cool to be able to go to that location and meet the people that I watch. So, yeah, IF Gaming. I'll be at Comic-Con. I'll be at not E3. Like I made the joke to my dad. I'm like, I need to move back to California like the middle of June to the end of July every year for E3, VidCon, Comic-Con, D23 if it's happening then. And there's other shit that goes on all the time. But actually, though, on that note, I have 8% battery life left. So I am going to wrap this thing up. And for some reason, it's not showing me any bit of the chat right now. Oh, there we go. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for the last 2.5 hours. This was a lot of fun. I'll tell you guys more stories later on. And thanks a lot, Jack. I appreciate that, man. So I will definitely talk to you guys later. And peace out.